All right. Now, in the Nitara reveal, this line stood out to me as a Mortal Kombat Conquest fan. This was gigantic. It's like people going, oh, what did you do with Jen's body? Says Kung Lao to Nitara, right? And you think, well, who's Jen? Who cares? I care. Jen cares, right? Jen's life was extinguished by Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat Conquest TV series, which is mint perfection. Absolutely amazing, right? Love it. It's so good. Now, I know people so go, oh, well, maybe it's a reference to Jennifer's body, and they're just kind of doing like a two-in-one, because people that know Conquest will also get it as well. But I get this sneaking suspicion, right, that with with this reference and what we sort of have heard with certain leaks with stories, and don't get me started, man. Every single leak that's come out about this game has come true. That's the scary part, right? Pretty much. So, right? What if, again, the converging of the timelines on the pyramid for the final battle, multiple timelines converging, from all different references in all different Mortal Kombat universes, everything from the Conquest show and stuff like that. Now, if this Kung Lao has a girlfriend called Jen, does that mean that this Kung Lao is Kung Lao that is from Conquest? That's going to bake your noodle, won't it? Imagine that. Imagine that this is the Kung Lao in this new era of all the Kung Laos that got recreated in Liu Kang's, new era universe. It's the Conquest one. But does that mean then that we are living in the Conquest timeline? I don't know. That's pretty crazy, right? And in case anyone doesn't know, this is what Jen looks like. This is from the Conquest TV show. They didn't have a single unattractive female in this show. And even the old Haggerty witch in the forest ended up being attractive as well, right? So, like, it's incredible that, like, there's this reference in there. And as a fan of Conquest, the fact that this got referenced is amazing. Like truly, truly amazing, right? And so in the Conquest show, it's actually about, like, Shang Tsung against Kung Lao. Like, there's no Liu Kang reference or anything like that, right? But it's pretty it's pretty cool that they made that reference. Now, I got some theories, further theories in regards to all of that. What if, right? What if Jen, because you know how they've been rumoring Meat as a cameo? What if Jen, that's actually a good place to talk about this. What if Jen is Meat? Right, now Megan Fox references when she talks about Nitara, she says, oh, she's like vampire-like type. Like, she didn't say, oh, yeah, she's a vampire. Right? It was actually more like, oh, she's vampire-like. What, like a hybrid type thing, perhaps? I mean, most vampires don't usually, like, scratch their boobies and pull blood out and whatever, right? So what if, and I've had this theory for a bit, what if Meat, or essentially, like, think of them kind of like these particular vampires require people, but they don't obviously suck them dry of blood, right? But when they bite them, it actually degrades the quality of the person, right? So they end up basically becoming like this constant source of food that never dies, but they just essentially kind of like fall to bits. It's almost having like leprosy, right? So what if you will, that like meat type characters are essentially like the personal pet of each particular vampire like creature out there. So, they don't run around and hunt others. They actually have like their own personal, supply package, their own little care package that they can feed on at any time because they're not dead. So they're constantly making blood. But as a side effect of them constantly being fed on, they basically turn to mush and just fall to bits. What if, as an absolute mind F to Kung Lao, he finds out that she turned Jen into her own personal meat puppet to feed off? No one's ever considered the idea of a female meat, right? That'd be crazy. Okay. But imagine that. Dude, imagine Kung Lao. He'd just be. And that could be one of the reasons why Kung Lao is not the champion and that Raiden is. Because Kung Lao has this emotional tie that will prevent him from fully unlocking his capability to become Earthrealm's champion in this particular tournament. Raiden, however, is not affected. Right? So I don't know if the storyline will actually delve into the explanation of Jen. It could easily do that in Invasions. This is what I'm talking about, the possibility of Invasions, and hopefully being a good way of storytelling. We're seeing that with Scorpion. The fact that Scorpion's going through all these different timelines or whatever, and he can't seem to keep his Jun alive, except for if she marries essentially the current day Scorpion in this new era. It's the only way that she's kept alive, right? What if it's a similar storytelling thing, where they actually are able to tell the story of Kung Lao and Jen through invasion mode, or even some more references and story, and then we get further into that about did Nitara actually do this? I mean, that would be pretty crazy. If they did it in the main storyline, I think that would be pretty awesome, to be honest, because it would be shocking. Imagine Kung Lao finds out that she might be alive or something like that, because Nitara doesn't say that she's dead. She just says you'll never see her again or her body again. Now, yeah, you could say, oh, well, she mean dead, but I'm a body, I'm alive, right? So it could be like one of those sort of play on words thing that she's doing to mess with him. And he goes, hang on a sec, that means she's not dead, right? And then maybe Nitara doesn't answer. So then he goes on a quest to try and find her, finds out that she's been turned into, little meat popsicle for Nitara, right? That'd be psychotic, crazy, shocking, and very emotional storytelling. And of course, particularly for us fans out there that are massive fans of Mortal Kombat Conquest, it runs even deeper, right? Because there's a lot of, because of her death, there's so much layered storytelling and interactions and whatnot with Kung Lao in the show. It's really good. It's a superb show. It really is. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about that. It's all crazy stuff, I know, but I'm curious. This is a very specific line. Yes, it could also mean Jennifer's body that Megan Fox was in, sure. But what if it was more than that? What if it actually referenced the Jen that is his girlfriend, right? Because her follow-up is, poor Kung Lao, you'll never see her again. That doesn't mean that she's dead. He might try and find her and find out that she has become essentially like a meat or whatever they might, a walking, living cadaver that, a particular vampire then claims as its own personal blood supply. But as I said, as a side effect of biting them all the time and feeding off them, they fall to pieces, they fall apart, they become unrecognizable, like zombies, but, in the sort of meat fashion, if you will. That'd be full on, man. That'd be really full on. But great storytelling, good investment, multi-layered of characters. We need that. We definitely need that. Anyway, guys, catch you next time.